What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. Back with another live recording for you today. Today is week 16. It's Christmas Eve, folks. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas for those of you that celebrate Christmas. Thanks for hanging out. Listen, man, it's Christmas Eve. It felt like a weird type of weekend, didn't it? You know what I'm saying? Because Christmas on a Monday, yesterday felt like Twins Day, combination between Tuesday and Wednesday. Like we didn't know what day it was. My wife's still walking around here somewhere trying to figure out what day it is. Listen, man, we got Cardinals at Bears later this evening, 4:25 Eastern Standard Time kickoff. I think that's 3:25 Central Standard Time. And watch this. I woke up this morning expecting to see the Bears on at 1 o'clock. My wife had to let me know, bro, what are you doing? There is no Bears game at 1. It's the late kickoff. Been doing this weekend. Guess coming in town. A whole 9. I'm all messed up, man. So got a lot to talk about, man. Got a lot, you know what I'm saying? I was like, well, why not? Let me jump on. Let me keep us entertained while we figure this thing out. Hopefully we don't have any internet issues or something like that, man. I got 6 likes out there. Appreciate y'all, man. Let's jump into it real fast. You know what we got to do. We got to do the intro first, man, before we really get into it. So let's do it.
Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. I'm high as fuck in the sky, you would've thought I'm pilot. I'm from Chicago, it get ugly, fill the streets with violence. Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence.
Past, present, future. We bear down.
And just like that, we're back, man. Just realizing I had to change some configuration stuff for the internet. So hopefully everything holds up just fine, man. We don't have any issues. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. The Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T. Do me a favor, run those likes up, subscriptions, and all that good stuff. Listen, we've been talking Bears football, you know what I'm saying, over the last few days on Twitter, X, Spaces. You know what I'm saying? Almost at nauseum, man. And y'all know at the center of that conversation, it's all about, you know what I'm saying, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams. Now we've somehow introduced Drake May into the conversation. So be it, man. It is what it is. I told y'all at the end, you know what I'm saying? I trust my own eyes because I don't trust. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust the mainstream media, definitely not the national media to give takes on, you know what I'm saying, what the expectations is for, you know what I'm saying, the quarterback we have, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, Drake May. So I'm doing breakdowns in the offseason on all these guys, film studies, deep dive film studies on all these guys. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you through. If you trust my eyes, then we're going to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? If you don't trust my eyes, then, like I said, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 2 tears in a bucket. You know what rhymes with bucket, don't you? You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. Like, people really get caught up in, you know what I'm saying, trying to make this big deal out of, you know, this person or that person in media said this, that, and the other. Listen. This is what y'all got to understand. If I put in the work, I'm going to trust my eyes at the end of the day because I put in the work based off the training I have, the mentors I have, and explaining this, that, and the other, coverages, fronts, blocking schemes, you know what I'm saying? Blitz packages, stunts, core concepts, advanced concepts, whatever the case may be, that's where I'm coming from. And I don't have the expectations. I don't have the demand of being a national media personality or this, that, and the other. Because, and I say this, I have to say this, because the latest strategy, and I don't know why. I know why, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know why. Like, I don't know why it's such a big deal. The latest strategy is to try to discredit, you know what I'm saying, my takes because it doesn't agree with this side or that side as it pertains to Justin Williams and Caleb Williams. So because I'm not, you know what I'm saying, an NFL coach, because I'm not, you know what I'm saying, a former NFL player or, you know what I'm saying, was on the practice squad on the NFL team or this, that, and the other. So it's like this, bro. When people don't have the knowledge that you have, and this is just a life thing, you know what I'm saying? The first thing they try to do is discredit you, you know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to pull you down in the eyes of others. If that is your strategy, then you need to check yourself and figure out what you're doing in life. But you need to realize, you know what I'm saying? Chicago Bears 360, we've been on YouTube for, you know what I'm saying, less than 2 complete seasons. And I've learned a game. So I've learned a game. I've learned all the dynamics, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to have fun with it and all this other stuff. But I know the game more than I did now. So it's like I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. So you're either going to love it or hate it. And we're just going to be, you know what I'm saying, amicable or not inside the discussions about Chicago Bears football. That's that part of it, right? The other part of it is this, man. You know what I'm saying? We have 3 games remaining in the season and one starting with today. Am I correct on that? I think it's the Cardinals, Atlanta, and Green Bay. Just like that, right? I'm gonna check myself because I've been on a wild one this last couple of days. Um, you know what I'm saying? Let's do this real fast. Yeah, it should be Bears, Cardinals, Cardinals, Falcons, Bears, right? And I got a real big take on the Falcons game because I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I thought about this last night. Those guys are so bad. Anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. So we got 3 games remaining. You know what I'm saying? A lot of football to be played. Is it going to sway the opinions of people about just in the last 3 games or so? Absolutely not. If your mind is already made up about how you feel about Justin Fields and or Caleb Williams, um, then it's already made up. Now, I say this. I started my Caleb Williams film breakdown earlier this week and I already started leaking out some of my perspectives as it pertains to Caleb Williams. And I know because I know the nature of this debate, this controversy, people are going to try and misquote my words. So I'm putting them on record. I'm going to continuously say this over the next several weeks because I want to do today's game, Atlanta's game, and Green Bay game. And the week after, I want to get started on Caleb Williams, Drake May, the Daniels kid, any other kid, Michael Penix Jr., any other quarterback in the draft. Then I'll start with wide receivers, do Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik, is it Neighbors? I'll do other wide receivers, offensive linemen. We're going to stretch this content out until the draft comes because this is what you guys want to see. So that being said, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have fun with it. We're going to break it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you know my concerns. But I have begun to leak some of my perspective out without doing the film breakdowns, showing the film breakdowns. That's the part I'm holding on to for me, for my channel, for the show, purposefully, right? I need content to stretch out. But I got to address this because I know people are already going to start to do it because I leaked my perspective on it before I did the film breakdown, the film study. And maybe that was a mistake. Maybe it wasn't. But I just got tired of talking about it, right? And not really chiming in and saying what I really thought. So I said, okay, here it is. I'm just going to put it out there to you guys. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't found the perfect package for it yet in terms of framing it in words, but it boils down to this for me. In a vacuum, without even thinking about Justin Fields, what he is, what he's not, it's not a comparison. This is an analysis, an observation. And I'm saying this because I don't want my words to be twisted. And I don't want anybody out there on Bears Twitter or whatever, Twitter land or whatever the case may be, to twist my words because I know how dirty this debate, debacle could be, this controversy could be. Do not say ever that I've ever said that Caleb Williams would not be good. You know what I'm saying? I believe he has an opportunity to be a good to great NFL quarterback. The problem I have with the description of Caleb Williams, and from my perspective, and I understand this is subjective, so you got to understand this is from my perspective, my film study, this, that, and the other. Now, if you respect it, then shout out to you. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you anyway. I don't care. But my perspective um is my perspective, right? And all just like with anything with the show, my perspective is based off of the film work that I've done and kind of the same way you guys see me evaluate film tape throughout the season, stuff like that. Sometimes I don't go as much into detail on the show because I want the show to be more entertaining. None the case, it is what it is. But I've never said in the last week or so that Caleb would be a bad or be a bust. I wouldn't associate bust or bad quarterback with Caleb Williams, right? It's obvious on tape that the kid has talent. He has talent. He has raw talent. He makes tremendous splash plays, off schedule plays. He's great at it. You know what I'm saying? He's great at it. You know what I'm saying? And any fan that's not a uh you know what I'm saying, film savant or football savant would look at a Caleb Williams game over the last 2 years and be entertained by it. They would be immensely entertained. You would be in awe of the throws and the things that he does. That's amazing. I watched the Notre Dame game, a little bit of it last night. I was doing film study from last year on Caleb Williams because somebody suggested, hey, go back a year. Sure, I'll go back a year. So versus Notre Dame, awesome plays he made in that game. Like you can't deny the raw talent. The perspective that I have from what the film study I've done so far, and I'm going to continue. I'm probably going to do another, you know what I'm saying, probably this week, do some more, probably another 2 to 3 games if I can find film footage on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm concerned about the level of, you know what I'm saying, the RPO heavy systems. And mind you, I haven't studied Lincoln Riley or Lincoln Riley quarterbacks prior to the Caleb Williams situation. Caleb Williams is the topic of discussion because Caleb Williams is being labeled transcendent or generational. So I've never really paid attention to Lincoln Riley offenses in the past because I'm just going to be quite honest with you. Nobody gives a damn. You know what I'm saying? It's what they call it. They call it East Coast bias, or I forget what they call it. East Coast bias, bro. We on the East Coast. If you watch a college ball, you watch an SEC ball, you watch a Big Ten ball, you watch an ACC ball. Nobody's staying up, you know what I'm saying, till 11, 12, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, unless you're, early this season, trying to see what Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes are going to do. Nobody's staying up to watch those games. And I'm being quite honest with you. I didn't even stay up to watch the Colorado games. You know what I'm saying? Them just come on too late. So yeah, that's just automatically West Coast bias, East Coast bias built into college football. That's why people don't pay attention or wouldn't have paid attention to Oklahoma's or now USC and all this. That being said, right, that still doesn't negate that when you get an opportunity to get your hands on the footage, the all 22, 4 and 5 games, and you look at it, Lincoln Riley runs a lot of RPO heavy stuff. I don't know if he did this with Jalen Hurts. I don't know that he did it with, did he have Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, whatever. But the fact remains, the facts are that he is heavy RPO with Caleb Williams, right? And that's not a bad thing that they do it at the college level, right? That this heavy RPO. The question for me is not that the RPO stuff is a bad thing. The question for me is, or the question that you guys should ask yourself as fans, I'm giving information. The question that the fan base should ask themselves is, how does RPO heavy offensive translate to the NFL? And who are the teams that are most conditioned to run RPO style heavy RPO style offenses, right? First of all, go back and do your homework. Go back and look at one of my old videos if you need to know. Probably over the last two videos, I think I do in the last two videos, I did RPO breakdown and what it is and what it ain't. You can find one out there, but do your homework on what a RPO actually is first. And I had a ADD moment that I wanted to slide in there real fast because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, people want to debate and be experts and argue, and it's okay if you want to be a conjecture debatist, football debatist, and all that other stuff. But I'm saying it's never going to hold as much weight unless you do the work. So go, first of all, learn what a damn RPO actually is and what it isn't, right? And then bring it forward and have a conversation and actually do the film breakdown yourselves. If you don't want to do it, come hang out. Um, as to the percentage of RPO offense that the kid plays in. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised. I was surprised that generational and transcendent was associated with a heavy RPO style offense at the percentage of like 85. I want to say 80, 85%. I'm gonna be 90. I'm gonna be try to be 90. I'm a guess percentage wise. I'm gonna have a solid percentage for you when we do the show and break it down. But at the say at the rate about 80 to 85% of the plays, right? It's not a bad thing. The system is what it is, but you have to ask yourself, how does that translate to the NFL? Now, let me talk about the system a little bit because what an RPO is designed to do is to be a contingency play off the zone read offense. If you know what a zone read is, stick the ball in the belly. You know what I'm saying? Either give a kick depending on what the outside linebacker or defensive end does, right? If he crashes down, you keep. If he stays out and do what we call a surf, you give it, right? If he plays the quarterback, you give it, right? It's supposed to be a contingency play off of the zone read because when they walk the linebackers over to account for the quarterback or the safety down into the box to account for the quarterback, they are actually removing defenders from the defensive backfields, and it makes it more advantageous for you then to throw the ball. RPO, run pass option instead of zone read or read option, the run version of that, right? So now we had that little class. So about the system itself, it's designed for the ball to come out fast when it does. And usually with that, the RPO, you have one or two reads, and the ball is going to come out fast. And usually it's the first read that usually where the player gets the ball. And more than likely, it's the first read or the second read. And I don't qualify those as NFL reads. That's my concern because, again, when we're critical of Justin Fields, the whole conversation is he doesn't read the field well. He holds the ball too long. He doesn't make anticipatory throws. Shout out to me for getting anticipatory right on the first try. What else are the go-tos? All those things, right? And all of those things are system dependent. All of those things are system dependent. If I'm in a heavy RPO system, the ball has to come out. Either that's the way it was designed. Either I'm giving it away to the running back or I'm throwing the ball. It's coming out no matter what. Now, when it doesn't come out, and I'm going to show you guys some instances on film, what happens when a DB in an RPO style offense, when a DB that plays press coverage or bump and run coverage and he jumps the route versus the RPO, how it throws all those plays off, right? And that's one of the adjustments that they made in college and the pros about how to defend the RPO, right? So they said you know what? We gonna play press, we're gonna play press man and let you figure it out there. If you don't give the ball away and if you can't throw it to your first read, what do? So what a lot of people won't tell you is because again, they don't watch film, they won't tell you a lot of those improvisational plays come off of the fact that, hey, I didn't give it away, I didn't give it to the running back, and they jumped my first read. And now, because the system, the way it's designed, there is no second and third and fourth and fifth read to go to. So now I got a boogie. You know what I'm saying? I got to do the two shoe shuffle, and I got to make something happen. The system is what it is, right? But it doesn't necessarily, as I always describe to you guys, translate well to NFL offenses. Can you run an NFL? But I'm always talking to you guys about understanding which concepts are condiments, right? Which concepts are ketchup and mustard, and which concepts are meat and potatoes. And I would qualify RPO, zone read, you know what I'm saying, screens, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming out and running a whole bunch of double reverses or reverses, right? You know what I'm saying? You got one of those a game. You know what I'm saying? Screens, you might have 2 to 3 of those a game. I've seen teams run up to 5, 6, 7, 8. If you see teams are bad at defending it, I get it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have answers for it. I get it, but I'm not running a whole, that's not my identity, right? Same thing with zone reads, NFL game, right? You got 2 plays. You got to keep, you got to give, you got to keep. You know what I'm saying? I'm either going to burn them on a give, on the inside zone to give. I might burn them with the keep, right? You might get them once or twice, maybe 3 times, but after a while, they're going to make an adjustment, and that's dead for that game. You got to go back to your core concept and play ball, right? I say all that to say this, to provide information, because we try to make the show a educational experience for the audience and people who watch the show. You can't say, you can say what you want to say about me. Personally, I don't give a F word. I'm trying to do better, especially on Christmas Eve. I don't give a damn. Damn is a little bit softer. I don't give a damn. But I guarantee you, if you hung out more than one show, you learned something. That's the part you can't deny. You know what I'm saying? That's the part you can't deny. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand name. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand name. What you say? What did Frank Lucas say?
Well, maybe
said,
I'm the one with a problem.
Maybe I'm the one with a problem
because I don't understand why you got to take something that's perfectly good and mess it up.
Why you got to mess it up?
See, brand names mean something. Blue Lemon or General Mills. What I'm talking about is when you chop my dope down.
Hey, even if, listen, at the end of the day, when it comes to this Bears DIY media stuff, right? You can say what you want, but you can't say, if you hung out for more than, hell, I'll give you 1 show, 2 shows, you've learned something. You probably learned something that you hadn't heard before. Because one thing I'm going to do is teach. And that's my brand, right? As Frank Lucas just said, maybe I got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I got a problem because I established a brand, a certain brand, a brand name. You can't take that brand and try to change it. Either way, I just thought I'd have fun with that sound because I had it. That was funny to me. If it wasn't funny to y'all, it's funny to me. But yeah, man, like, so I want to provide the information for you guys to make your determination on your own. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to say, I said the kid was going to be bad or bad. I said it's questions, right? And there's no different than what other people have said about the situation, right? Right? Even though they may not agree with the overall assessment, it's the same as other people. Dan Orlovsky, I won't play the whole clip because it's 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. Dan Orlovsky says this week, he said, if you force me to choose today, I'm choosing Caleb Williams, but I haven't done the full film study yet. But if you ask me to choose today, and watch this, that's fair. For anybody that hasn't done the film study, that's fair. I would say, bro, if you ask me the same question, I'd be like, oh yeah, I think I'd probably rock with Caleb Williams. If you're asking me which player, just regardless of the situation, to choose without context, I'd be like, oh yeah, if I hadn't done the film study, right? But if I look at the film and I'd be like, oh, say I got questions. And I think those are fair questions to ask. They're fair questions to ask. The fair questions to ask is, how will this system that you've been involved with for at least 2 years that I can remember, I don't know what you did year 1 or year 2, if it was the same coach, right? How does that translate to the NFL? And call you back, mom. And in the system, in the other side of the 80, 85%, the 20 to 15%, when you were required to make NFL throws or NFL reads, how did those pan out? That's fair. I know life ain't fair, but that's being as objective you can be in the situation, given the situation. Yep. And being truthful about what your own biases are in the situation, right? So I say that to say this. If you look at how does it translate, and the 15% of the plays that you are required to do what the NFL asks you to do, how did they pan out? What is it? What did you look like? What did it look like? And then you add a second or third layer to it and you say, okay, when asked to do that 15 to 20% versus NFL level competition, what did it look like? Now you start adding nuance. Now you start adding details. And there's the saying that the devil is always in the details, right? If you want to find, and you can't do football from a nuance, from a macro prescriptive diagnosis. You can't be this hard liner when diagnosing or you trying to analyze football. You can't do it on a macro prescriptive level and do it with accuracy, right? That's the problem. That's the paradox, right? That's the conflict, right? Because a lot of these media shows, they're an hour long, they're 30 minutes long. And we talk and we discuss these topics on Twitter, which is limited in characters, unless you are, premium member and you get the right essays in your comments and all this. We don't come to Twitter for all that. I just want to let y'all know it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't come to Twitter. If it don't fit in the initial box, then what are we doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? You're writing doctoral. At that point, to me, you need to create a show, or you need to hop on somebody else's show on their way. Because if you need, you know what I'm saying, long format to make your point, then it's time for the change venues, if you will. That's just free game for you, right? But yeah, I think those are fair observations if you do what I do in a way to look at it. Now, I'm open to other flavors of slicing and dicing the pie, but looking at the system, how it translates, looking at the 15 to 20%, and what was the results of the 15 per 20%. By the way, which I thought was pretty good, of the 15-20% that Caleb was required to make NFL reads and throws, I saw some pretty good stuff out there. I saw some damn good. That was a one dig go route combination that I thought was really impressive. Versus cover 2 zone. I believe it was versus cover 2 zone. It was some even number cover. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was damn good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I wanted to see more of. It left me wanting to see more of that stuff, like more of that. Like I want to see more of it. Like that's the curiosity part that I'm like, okay, bro, let's go. I'm feeling that. Like if it was flipped and it was 80% the other way or 70% even the other way, and the results were the same, it would be like, okay, now it's come on now. I'm not even chiming in on this. At that point, I'm like, all right, I'm presenting and let y'all figure it out because it would be more close than the conversation it is now. Uh, and then you add in, you know what I'm saying? Now you add in again the 15-20% versus the level of competition. And it's not even again, it's not the results of the plays, it's the execution. I'm not even looking up in those plays. I'm not looking at was the throw 20 yards, a completion or a touchdown? Did you make the right read, incompletion or not? Because the wide receiver might have just dropped the ball. He might have pissed his pants that day, dropped the ball, made a bad play. Did your eyes in those NFL throws go through the progression and the ball come out that we're always talking about? And was your eyes right? Because you know what I'm saying? It's not diagnosing the results of the play or replay. That's what it is. So either way, the point being, I want to set the stage for what I feel like is a fair analysis and observation of the situation. Now, again, people are gonna add their little, well, look at this and look at this. Look, no, do your own damn show. You know what I'm saying? I'll look at stuff within reason, but no, do your own damn show. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not no, step and fetch boy for you. You know what I'm saying? Go out here and I ain't no freaking circus monkey. Uh, you know what I'm saying? To put out videos and all requests. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? YouTube doesn't pay me, put it that way. At all. At all. I don't know what, you know, I don't do that other stuff. So either way, that's setting the stage for what's about to happen. So I'm done with that. I'm setting the stage for what's going to happen. If you guys hear anybody out, don't let nobody out there misquote me. Y'all heard, I said what I said. I stand on it 10 toes down. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's a brand name. That's why I'm setting the stage to protect the brand name because this is a brand name at this point. You know what I'm saying? I stand by. And watch this. Even after doing all that film work, and study. And this is really what the overall take is for the kid. I think the kid has the opportunity to be good or great, good to great. I believe the kid he needs the right system for early success, meaning for early success, he needs to go into the right system, an RPO heavy system or a team like Atlanta, right? Or watch this, I'm adding this to the equation. And or if we bring in a RPO heavy or focused coordinator and we bring them here for early success. And again, that's for you guys that's Justin Fields supporters who are probably going to go too hard on the kid if he comes in and doesn't have early success. The realistic expectation, even if he has a NFL coordinator that's suited to his skill set, heavy RPO with a splash of NFL stuff, that can ramp him in, that can ramp him up into and transition him into more NFL style reads and stuff like that. Still, then the expectation is I need to give him at least a season and a half to two full seasons, right, where you start to see the flashes of greatness uh, on the midway through the second season, all the way to the end of the second season. By season 3, I would expect, with all things being equal, better talent, better line situation, better OC, better weapons, better defense. You need to be balling by end of season 2, going into season 3. We should be talking Super Bowl. That's the real life assessment of the situation in a vacuum for me, right? So can we is that situation suitable for us? Is that the most practical situation? I don't know, man. This is what gets everybody jacked up. I don't know because now you have to decide how does that window compare to if you have if you provide the same stuff for Justin, a suitable offensive coordinator, more weapons, a better defensive, better personnel, is the window the same? Because you're talking, excuse me. Dang, bro, my breakfast almost came back and punched me in the face. You're talking You're talking three. I'm saying Super Bowl in, let's say, he would get drafted in 2024, 24, 25 season, 25, 24, 25 season, 25, 26 season, 26, 27 season, Super Bowl. That's my expectations. 26, 27 season, Super Bowl. Competitive, getting there, scratching. We could be scratching the surface. We could be one game away, but it needs to be somewhere in the vicinity. How does that stack up compared to, given all the situations being the same, new OC, better talent, O-line, more weapons, whether it's Marvin Harrison Jr. or other, better defense, given the haul that you get, because you have to add that to the question, because in the Justin Fields situation, it would probably come with, it probably not, but possibly come with a haul. See, either you draft the players and you go with the picks and you play ball, or you get the hauls and build out the roster, whatever. Either way, what is the window? Are we talking 26, 27, 24, 25, 25, 26, 26, 27? Are we talking 26, 27 Super Bowl talks in that situation? Or are we talking 24, 25, 25, 26, 26, 27? Is it the same expectations, or is it a shorter timeline? I think quite naturally for Justin, it should be. And to be fair, even with and I'm being critical, I'm being harsh. I am deliberately being hard. I believe with an improved roster, new coordinator, despite the learning curve that we obviously know needs to happen with a new coordinator, right? I believe they get a great teacher at the coordinator position, that somebody knows how to implement correctly. I think the learning curve goes down. So I'm not giving you as much time as with Luke Getsy. I'm not giving a new offensive coordinator 3 years like Luke Getsy has. I'm giving him I'm really it doesn't have to be a great offensive coordinator. It has to be somebody in the vicinity of Ben Johnson. Is Ben Johnson actually ranks mid-tier? I don't even have the graphic that I could share with y'all in the offensive coordinator they shared this week. Ben Johnson ranks mid-tier amongst offensive coordinators. He's like just above middle. Somebody like Ben Johnson, who you can look at the game and see he's coherently putting plays and scripts together, and he's calling the game with some level of competent sequencing and skill, right? I'm giving a guy like Ben Johnson, just above mid-tier guy, I'm giving him the end of the first season. The end of the first season, we should be flashing, right? We should be coming into the second season, right? So end of the first season, we'll wild card the first round exit. I'm just saying, with what we have right now, we should have made the playoffs this year, right? With that coordinator. So I'm not giving you a whole lot of grace I'm not giving Justin a whole lot of grace with the new coordinator, even though there's a ramp up period. I'm just going to tell you, I wouldn't give myself that with this talent, right? This year we should have been a playoff. And I feel like just above average Ben Johnson type coordinator in this year, we would have been in this playoff picture it was well part of the conversation, right? I don't know if I put that right, but as a real serious part of the contention conversation. So I'm not giving the new coordinator 3 years. I'm giving you the first year. I'm giving you towards the end of the first year. You get us wild card playoffs. By season 2, they're going to be talking about how deep can we go? How deep can we go? And I don't think season 2 is fair to say Super Bowl or bust, but I think by midway through season 2, towards the end of season 2, I think it's fair that people should at least be saying Chicago Bears Super Bowl contenders potentially. The conversation should at least start it. That's just my outlook on it. That's my perspective. And watch this. That's conjecture. To me, that's more debatable. That's more people can be, Coach T, you crazy. You're a lunatic. You know what I'm saying? You're sacrilegious. You're blasphemous and all the other adjectives you want to throw in there. That part, you know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation about. I'm willing to listen. Like if you think I'm off my rocker, by all means. But I just feel like all things being equal, comparing the two, regardless of the situation, that would be fair. I want us to be with a new OC, better talent. I want us to be playoffs, beginning rounds of the playoffs, wild cards to middle of the playoff contenders right off the bat. Year 2, it should be Bears. Possible they can get there if they did XYZ. If we did XYZ, you know what I'm saying? We're playing meaningful football well into December and January. Our names is mentioned amongst the, you know what I'm saying, those premier teams. Obviously, that goes along with dominating the division. And that, watch this, we're not far from that, right? We split the division. We beat Green Bay. We would have split the division with this terrible. I'm not gonna say a terrible team because my friend LB locked me on yesterday. He said, Coach Steve, as a Falcons fan, y'all spoiled, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got all the talent in the world. We don't have a quarterback. Y'all got a quarterback. Y'all can't see the talent, and y'all want to exchange the Ferrari for the Lamborghini. That's his words, quote, not mine. Either way, yeah, I think I beat that dead horse to death, right? But I want to protect the brand. I want to protect the name. Y'all see people talking crazy out there. Y'all lock them on, man. Anyway, let's get to the comments, man. I want to hear what y'all got to say. I've been talking for 45 minutes
Did
straight.
you get like some crazy DMs or what?
Very.
Surprises or no?
It's talking like blue check marks.
Yeah, like
People who be sliding and I'm like, wow, y'all fuck with me like that.
Y'all rock with me like that. It's Coach T with Chicago Bears 360, man. Listen, if you watching this on the playback, you know what I'm saying? You like football, you like nuanced football, you like details, you like learning new things about the game, man. Come rock with us, man. Let's slide over here. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in the videos with the producer all up in the videos dancing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the producer all up front. You know what I'm saying? You want to be up here where we could see you blossom. I've got to get that sound from Suge Knight from that Source Awards episode where Suge Knight said that about Bad Puffy and Bad Boy. That aged well, didn't it? Yeah. You don't want to be all up in the videos, dancing, blah, blah, blah. Come on over to Death Row, man. Come on over to Death Row. That's if you're watching on the show on the playback. A little bit of hip hop humor throwing it in there, man. See? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big a-hole. Let's get to the comments, man. Love to hear from y'all, bro. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. My guy V-Dog. V-Dog say, what up, Coach T, V-Dog? Who is that? I feel like I know who that is. In real life. What up, V-Dog, man? Thanks for rocking this. First time I seen your name, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe, man. Hang out with us. Seem like a cool guy. I'm an all right dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I have my moments. Chaz Mitchell says, JF MVP, no crybaby and shy. I hope I agree with you. If I do, don't. Shout out to you, man, for commenting. How about that? Let's give you props for commenting, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got to get there. I'm going to tell you, bro. Listen, this is what y'all don't know. If we get an offensive coordinator and I like the hire and I feel like it's a fit, this is what y'all need to be prepared for, right? Because a lot of y'all rock with me because I'm just going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a beam with y'all. A lot of y'all rock with me because I support Justin Fields. And I support Justin Fields mostly because, one, he's our current quarterback under center. Two, because I've done the film study and I'm seeing it like, bro, if we just get a new coordinator, this dude can be off to the races. But I'm preparing y'all right now because if we do get said coordinator, right, and I feel great about the hire, and y'all seen the timelines and the windows I've laid out for y'all for Justin, if I'm breaking down the film and Justin not getting it done, I'm telling y'all right now, this is going to be a totally different conversation. I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna be a totally different conversation. The flavor and the tenor of the conversation is gonna look totally different. I'm gonna be on him. I'm gonna be on him. I'm gonna be on his tail and be on his ass hard, heavy. Pause. I'm just letting y'all know. So I'm preparing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me start this question up for you so I can get back to it, V. I'm gonna get back to your question. I gotta get my shots out real fast. J2K, man, Merry Christmas to you, my guy. Appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Coming over for the bar room. The bar room's not doing the show today. Aldo gave us a day off. Shout out to Aldo. Aldo, my guy, Aldo at Barroom Network. If y'all, by the way, don't know, I'm on the Barroom Network most games at halftime and at post-game show, unless I got family stuff going on. Or I'm actually at the game, which I almost tried to pull a Christmas miracle and get up to Chicago today for today's game. Black Diamond said Circus Monkey, LOL. Man, you know what I'm saying? People, bro, this go look up for long, man, because people might, you know, this DIY media, Bears media game gets a little crazy, bro. And people really think they can come in your DMs and be like, listen, I'm not being an a-hole. I'm all open to ideas. But people think they come in your DMs and be like, hey, man, can you do a video on this? Can you do a video of that? Listen, I'm going to tell y'all explicitly my rules of engagement for that, so y'all know. The only people that can get in my DMs on Twitter, X, or whatever, right? Or even comment in the show in the comments that can request those type of things are subscribers, bro. I don't feel obligated to anybody else. If you're a subscriber, by all means, these randoms, or what I like to call randies, these randoms or randies, y'all don't get that privilege, man. These are for subscribers. Subscribers can come in the comments and be like, Coach, I want to see X, Y, Z. Can you do a video on this? Blah, blah, blah. You earned it. You subscribe. You like. You hear all the time. I will try my best because watch this. You guys give me ideas, especially. And matter of fact, I'm going to put out a call to action, especially for the off season. I want to hear from my subscribers on videos you guys want me to do, breakdowns y'all want me to do, because there's nothing but time between the Super Bowl or the time our season is probably going to end and the Super Bowl. And then we got the whole lull of the summer. And we have to come up with stuff to talk about that's not breaking news in the national news or local news to talk about. So by all means, back to Vidal's question. He says, Coach, it rumored coaches with the rumored names, Erica Bieniemy with this relationship with Kevin, Ryan, Mike Tomlin, Harbaugh. Who do you want out of the bunch? It's tricky, man, because Eric Bieniemy comes. Eric Bieniemy can go either way. Eric Bieniemy, say for instance, we wet the bed these last 3 games, and you know what I'm saying, Flus looks totally incompetent. And just the defense takes a turn for the worse the last 3 games. Eric Bieniemy becomes a candidate for head coach and OC because there's a very good chance. Excuse me, again. You know what I'm saying? Never eat Popeye's chicken for breakfast or lunch, early lunch. It's a very good chance that Eric Bieniemy becomes a candidate that could go either way with that situation, right? So I like Eric because I don't have the chart. Maybe I do. I like Eric because of this right here. And I'm gonna flash it up. And then I'm gonna take it down. Hold on a second. Boop, 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 boop. Look for Washington in this chart. Look for Washington in this. And so that's the reason why I like Eric Bieniemy, because when I saw the chart, it surprised me that Eric Bieniemy, I don't know why it surprised me, but it surprised me that Eric Bieniemy was one of the higher rated RPO styles offensive coordinators. And based off that chart, he seems like he's in the group that is most balanced, right? In terms of having traditional reads and RPO style. It feels like Eric adds RPOs the right way. Same thing would surprise me with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is one of one of the higher ranked RPO teams in there. Whatever that stat would have jumped out of me as a surprise, right? So that's why I like Eric as a coordinator possibility in that situation. Let me catch back up. Coach, did I answer the second part of your question? Oh, he mentioned Tomlin, relationship with Kevin Ryan, Tomlin, Mike Tomlin. The Mike Tomlin rumors are crazy. I want to talk about that maybe next week. I don't know, maybe a little bit at the end of this show. The Mike Tomlin for draft picks rumors are crazy. And they're crazy for me for a reason. I'm not saying it's not true. Shout out to Diana Rossini, who don't want to discredit her reporting, but at the same time, if I say the people that I be like, man, look to out there in the national media reports, like obviously there's some credence to it, or maybe people are floating desires. See, this is what you got to be careful of, right? At this time of the year, right? You got to be careful of the Bears coming out and saying, oh, where they're in love with Caleb Williams, especially between now and draft time. The Bears really like Caleb Williams. It looks like they're going to go with Caleb Williams. Be careful of that, because that could be the Bears floating that into that to drive the price up for Caleb Williams. Same thing with like these things about Mike Tomlin or Eric Bieniemy. Those guys, agents, could be floating this information out there from them camp to let the Bears know that they're interested. I believe Eric Bieniemy's camp floated the idea, or the Bears floated the idea earlier in the season that they like Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy liked them because they were trying to gauge, you know what I'm saying, gauge interest through the media. Same thing with this Mike Tomlin situation. It could be the same. Same thing with the Harbaugh camp. They could be floating to gauge interest to see what it's like, because this is what I believe all that amounts to, and it's the summation of all that. I believe that other coaches, whether it's college, Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, Eric Bieniemy, they see value in what the Bears got going on in this roster. They see and they believe in the GM, and therefore they see where this thing is trending. And like my friend LB just said on the Spaces last night, outside of Chicago, everybody looks at our team, and although we have a losing record, they look at our team as trending in the right direction, and as LB put it last night, and as exciting to watch. That part I never took into consideration. The exciting to watch part, the flicking of Myles Garrett off of your shoulder with an offensive lineman hanging on, to flick him off of your shoulder, arguably the best defensive lineman of the modern era, rolling to your left and throwing a dart for a touchdown, throwing a dot. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't know, man. But that's a great question. B-Dog, appreciate you there, man. Giving me something else to talk about. My guy Yada says, Caleb Williams' release is insane. I hope I said that. I hope I emphasized that enough for y'all in that whole monologue I had about Caleb Williams. But yes, and yes again. Yes, I cannot say enough about his release, right? And that's the obviously glaring difference between him and Justin, right? You have a shorter, quicker release, almost Aaron Rodgers-ish, right? I would say, you know what I'm saying? That's the height. That's the high of it. That's the height of the release if we're gonna put up parameters on the list. You know what I'm saying? But also, you know what I'm saying? Tyson Bagent has that same release. That's why when somebody said earlier this week, and probably in the Spaces, it said, might have been last night or the day before, when they said Tyson Bagent is not good. I say good for a backup. He's good. He's the brother. You gotta see, guys, man. This is why I feel like people have challenges with talking about football. Everybody, do me a favor, as personal homework. Sit down and define for yourself good, great, generational, transcendent, all these adjectives that we decide you use with sports figures, right? Our sports hero. Come on, like, have your own personal pie chart or Gantt chart or radiant chart that talks about, that describes, and put people in that chart for yourself and quantify that for yourself. Because part of the problem is, man, people just, oh my God, we need to come up. They're gonna come up with a word that has to supersede generational transcend it over the next couple years, because that's going to be watered down um within the next couple years, because we got to come up with something else to say. You know what I'm saying? He walks on water and he feeds 5,000 with two fish, and five loaves and two fish. I need to brush up on my Bible a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hyperbole is getting crazy, bro. But no, to Yetta's point, man, Eric's point, absolutely, bro. That part of it, yes. That is a real deal, right? That is a real deal. That we can't put nothing else on that. My guy Locked and Loaded 153. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Locked and Loaded said, Coach, what do you think about the amount of times Fields steps up in the pocket? Can he do it more than he currently does? Yes, but I need to get him a center, and the center is not getting pushed back in his lap. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? Again, that's going to be one of the things I look at, because if I get you a center and I feel like this dude is a stud, because I'm going to tell y'all also too, I said this on the Spaces earlier this week, defensive strategies are starting to change, because instead of people looking for a 3 technique, teams, you know what I'm saying, league-wise, instead of people necessarily looking for a 3 technique, I think a lot of the concentration as the game evolves, because think about it, pocket quarterback was the norm for the long. Everybody loves the guy extending pocket and deliver the ball. How do you remove the pocket? Collapse the pocket. So people are starting to look for more better NFL ready DTs, 1 techniques, or nose tackles that can push and collapse the pocket. So now look for the center position to evolve into probably bigger, bigger. Usually, traditionally, center you could be damn 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? 6'1", and play center inside a 350-pound or 300 plus frame, and you could get away with it. Look for the center position to evolve too, because now it's flipped, and they're starting to sign the Vays of the world out of Tampa Bay and other guys out there, because they want to collapse the pocket. We need a center, man. It can't be overstated enough, right? And I believe once we get a center that can do it with consistency, you'll see him make throws like he did in Detroit, the first Detroit game, second try to ball on the DJ, right? That's a fair assessment and a fair expectation. But if he don't, I'm gonna be on his ass. I mean, it's just plain and simple as that. Once all things being, or let me put it this way. Don't even give it. We don't have to get a world beater at center. Get a guy, man, that just, he's consistently bad at just like one thing. He's just not consistent. He's not bad at making offensive line calls. He's not bad at run blocking. He's not bad at pass pro. You know what I'm saying? He's not bad against all forms of defense. Just get a guy that has like maybe one flaw or so, right? But not bad at just like everything, right? Anyway, soapbox moment over. I got to give myself a time limit on it. Yo, Coach Rock Davis says you're coaching right now. Let's go. Appreciate you, man. Rock, long-time supporter. Appreciate the channel. Locked and Loaded, hanging out with us some more. My guy, Bears Media Coach said, man, fire Getsy. Bro, I'm in on. I don't even. If you didn't bring it up, Rock, I probably Bears Media Coach, I probably would have made it through a whole show without mentioning Luke Getsy's name in actually using the name, right? You know what I'm saying? It's no secret how I feel about the cat, man. It's just we're here, and I'll talk about it when I get through these comments. What today's expectations for today's show, for today's game, man, is, and it's gonna have a lot to do with Luke Getsy. So I'll leave it at that. Bear Truth 9 says, but I believe we get. Here we go. Bear Truth 9. He said, I believe if we get the 1 pick and draft Caleb, if we get the one pick and draft Caleb, or even more so and stay with JF1, I believe we're going to have to bring in an OC that is very versatile in his system or systems. Yeah, that's what it boils down to. It boils down to core competencies, core competencies for offensive coordinator, right? Let me put my corporate hat on. Your core competencies for offensive coordinator needs to be that you have a depth and breadth of knowledge offensively, meaning you need to not only know the system that you come from, but you need to know other systems, right? Meaning, I'll draw some comparisons, right? Say, for example, let's talk about the best probably system in the NFL right now, Kyle Shanahan. As much as I love Kyle Shanahan's system, at some point I'd expect the NFL, as hard as it may be, and I'll make this statement in a minute. I'll expect the NFL to evolve in a way that somebody, you know what I'm saying, puts Kyle Shanahan in his place. Kyle Shanahan is not undefeated. As great as it is, there's film on teams beating Kyle Shanahan, right? So you still have to be versed in other systems, right? So Kyle's what people like to label as outside zone heavy. I like to call it power gap, power concepts, power heavy concept teams. Kyle also knows the zone scheme. He knows Sean McVay's stuff. Kyle knows his stuff that his dad taught him. He knows the power concepts. He knows the zone concepts. He knows the counter concepts. He knows zone read. He knows RPO systems. I've seen the dude do it all. And that's what makes him great. So, again, you don't have to be Kyle, but the expectation is, regardless of personnel, because this is the problem with Nagy. Nagy was not system agnostic as a play caller and offensive coordinator, and his players weren't, right? He didn't get, and you're not going to get a bunch of system agnostic players. Most guys are drafted to fit a particular style of play that you want to play, but you need to have at least 6 or 7 players on a team, at least 4 or 5 on each side of the ball that are system agnostic, meaning it doesn't matter what system they're in, they can ball, just plug and play guys, right? So the core competency would be that you don't have to be an expert in all systems, but you need to be a jack of all trades and perhaps a master of none. I believe that would get us there. You're a jack of all trades, master of none, system wise. That's the first thing as a core competency. What that allows you to do, in my opinion, is it allows you to, even if you don't have ideal personnel, given a situation, you don't start the season with ideal personnel, or you don't end the season with ideal personnel, or midway through the season, you can still be diverse in how you approach games and attack teams, right? So I'll give you an example. When we lost both of our running backs in the Washington game, right, my biggest concern with Luke Gessie was, how is he going to coach moving forward, knowing that he's a novice coach and he needs ideal personnel to run his stuff, right? So that's my concern right there. So if you have a diverse set of skill sets in terms of a diverse knowledge in terms of core systems and core competencies or systems, you can be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I don't have my 2 running backs. This is how I can compensate for that. I can go and I can use my running backs, my wide receivers as running backs on jet motions. I got this guy, Velus Jones, that, you know what I'm saying, he has good size and good speed. You know what I'm saying? I can teach him maybe within a week to run stretch plays, outside zones, maybe not so much inside zones, but I can formulate something with him and do it that way. I can implement a little bit of RPO game. I can, you know what I'm saying, I can compensate for some of my running back carries with some zone reads, maybe add a few additional trick plays this week. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta make up for that. Well, if your tool bag is empty, you don't have nothing to go with. So that part of it. So yeah, diverse in concepts. The second part is great teacher. You need to be a great teacher and to be able to articulate your concepts, your language, what you're trying to be, what you're trying to convey to the players, and leadership, and then also your ability to teach and plan. Because great teachers are usually great planners. They have their lesson plans, all that. So the planning part of it is how much at what phase during the season do you implement what, right? So do you come in and say, hey, here's this thick old playbook. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? 30 chapters. You guys learn it. We're running it all from day one. Or do you do like I do and I say, hey, here are your core concepts. Weeks 1 through 3, core concepts. I expected y'all to master these. You know what I'm saying? Outside zone, inside zone, power, counter, duo, wham, whatever, right? Core concepts. Week 3 through 6, I expect y'all to master these. And you start stacking and ramping up your offense by the time, and you have a goal in mind that by the time I reach this phase of the season, this percentage of the playbook should have been installed. Everybody should be on the same page, and we should be cooking with grease, right? That part of it. That's a whole nother. So yeah, diverse core concepts, great teacher, great leader and communicator, great planner, right? Planner. How do you manage, and from the leadership standpoint, to take a step back, how do you manage your staff? How do you manage your staff as an offensive coordinator? How do you manage and utilize your offensive line coach, your wide receivers coach, your tight ends coach, your quarterbacks coach? Did I say running back? Right. And do you also have additional analysts on your staff to look at games from a week ahead and a week behind? Right. So if it were me, I would have my offensive line coach. They're dialed into what we're doing in game planning this week and make sure individuals are ran in a way to emphasize the game plan for this particular week. But I would also have an analyst to say, let's look at you. Your sole job is to look back at past games and to show me as an offensive coordinator where we screwed up. Show me myself where I'm being what tails my calls have. Like if you can scout me and tell me what habits are in my play calling. First of all, what holes do we have in individual position groups? And then you scout me, you basically grade my paper and you tell me how I'm doing. If you see any tendencies and stuff like that, you look at past tapes, and I have another analyst to tell me, you look at future opponents. You study future opponents, the next upcoming opponents, and where we can take advantage of them. And how does those say successful plays from common opponents, right? How does that match with our plays in our playbook? And what can we pull from our plays? So you should be able to come to me and say, hey, coach, you know what I'm saying? Dallas ran this against Green Bay. We got them upcoming. This is what they were successful at doing. This is what plays we have in our playbook that match that. Boom. Leadership. How do you manage your staff? Does everybody have a specific job? Are we working together? You know what I'm saying? And you move. Yeah, you got to have eyes all over. I know that's a long explanation to a short question, but yeah. Anyway, my guy, Black Diamond in the house. Sean Sierra in the building. My guy, the super back. Y'all go check my go size Sean Sierra out on his YouTube channel, Sean and Maya in the morning. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy right there. Great guy to talk football with. Black Diamond said Peter Griffin gonna shit the bed again today. Come on, man. Y'all know y'all kill me. I know who that is now. Now I just associated you with the Peter Griffin comment. Cardinals, Falcons, home game, Green Bay. I don't want to leave anybody out. Pedro says these fans are greasing the tires of these people who want to follow the media train hype. Love the picture, by the way, Pedro. That's what we here for, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we here for. I don't have to listen to those guys. I still watch those shows, man. I think Get Up is very entertaining. I love, you know what I'm saying? I like Dan because Dan is one of the very few media guys that actually gets into the tape when he has time, when he does. So I you know what I'm saying? I like the national shows. Some of them are conjecture shows. Some of them are educational shows, some of them are entertainment shows. You got to figure out what it is, and you know what I'm saying. Figure out what your cup of tea is. You know what I'm saying, and go with it. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Where goes one? Bear down, JF1, QB1, him. Boom. I like it until otherwise. You know what I'm saying? John Perry says the problem I see is this. If you reset at quarterback, you are being set back 3 to 5 years. New rookie, if good, won't happen till year 2 or 3. At that time, we lose DJ Sweat and many more contracts. Thoughts? Hey, man, I do not have any pushback on that because you're right. If we go to 26-27, is when I say Caleb should be in the Super Bowl by. What does that do with our contract situation? How much older is Montez Sweat? How much older is DJ? Right? How much, what expiring contracts do we have at that time? And then usually that's, you have to consider what that, because everybody talks about what happens on the front end with Justin Fields, what happens to the books, the accounting, what happens. But we also need to think about what happens on the back end of the books when some of these expectations, some of these contracts start expiring, and then you have to do what? Because now you have to decide, hey, do I draft or have I draft correctly behind Montez Sweat and allow him to mentor the guy just behind him, blah, 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 and we can keep the train going. This is why I'm of the thought process that Justin Fields doesn't have to be transcendent, great, generational, any of that stuff. Justin Fields just has to be good. Build out a great roster, keep our books clean, right? Continue to trade back. Like, for example, this year, if we end up with 1-4 or 1-3 or even 1-5, I know this may sound crazy, but I personally want to see 2 DJ trade backs this year, because if we do that, we get the equivalent to what would have been a DJ at another position, a defensive tackle, a center, a combination of players, defensive lineman and center, a tight end, a wide receiver, whatever, safety, whatever we need, we get 2 established players immediately. We get to keep our this year's pick, and that means we're having the same conversations next year about our first 2 rounders next year. We're talking about, again, now we wouldn't expect to be as bad, so our pick would start moving in the teens, right? In the bottom half of the first round. But depending on who our trade partner is, which is, I think Ryan needs to take into consideration, right? When you make these trade backs again, you look at who do you think potentially could suck again, and give me another high first rounder. So let's take a quick look at it. Let me do this real fast. I'm gonna flash it on the screen because I realize I can't talk while this is going on. So let me take a look at it. Yeah, I'm taking any of those guys 1 through 7. Washington, right? Washington, New York Jets, anybody that I think potentially could put us in the same position next year. We have a top 10 pick and our pick. Then you start basically what's the word I'm looking for? Then you start moving yourself out of the top 10 pick conversation, not next year, but maybe the year after. What I'm saying is trading back, managing expectations for Justin to just be good with the potential to be great. Trading back and getting all those hauls guarantees you, if you get the same deal this year, guarantees you 2 established players this year and this year's 2 first-round picks. So those 2 first-round picks have the opportunity. Say you draft another edge rusher. He has the opportunity to be mentored by Montez Sweat. So when Sweat gets old and Sweat decides, hey, I want a new contract or I want to hold out already, you got guys playing behind him or whatever, and you get to continue things going, and you're not beholden to one guy. You've basically created a, dare I say, the team from up north times type system where seems like they always had players at that team up north. you create this pipeline of good players and system that you're drafting to, and you always got a guy on the bench waiting to come in because he's had a year or two to watch the Montez Sweats or the Darnell Wrights of the world and how they are and how they go about being a professional and all this other stuff. So when these guys come up and they get time deals, the second contract, you're not forced to pay them again as they're aging and getting older. You offload them and let some other else team pay that big salary, and you bring the new guy up and we reset and start over. So the trade back guarantees we're going to have a better team this year. It puts us in a position to have two first rounders next year, and then 2025, 26, then we'll start figuring out whether the first round conversation and trade back needs to be a deal. Because I believe if you trade back this year, I believe you can swing. You trade back this year or trade back in 2024, you can swing in 2025, right? You can swing for the Super Bowl in 2025, meaning I don't have to necessarily trade back in 2025. I should be able to get, say, like a running back, the best running back in the draft. By that, my roster should be so good that I can say, all right, cool. All I need is a dynamic running back. And I'm going to get a running back out of the draft because, again, that position doesn't take you long to assimilate to the NFL. You can take your swing in 2025, right? Or if you want to keep this thing running, you just be like, all right, cool. I'm going to keep trading back. I can find a running back in the third and fourth round or whatever, and I don't have to swing. I think putting us in a position where Ryan Poles always holds all of the cards at the table in the NFL as it pertains to the draft, the salary cap, and playing the game of football from a business strategic standpoint is probably more important than Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields. That's to me. That's to me. My daughter calling now. Right. So long answer to a short question, but I believe that's I gotta call you back, daughter. Gee whiz. All right, Squeeze said that's clown behavior. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, when I was talking about people demanding videos. Yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. Have I answered pretty much everybody's question? What up? Shout out to Julius Span. I haven't seen you in here a lot. What up, family? What up, man? Oh, yeah. I hope I answered the questions, man. I hope the answer. Julius said, my boy, quick. Listen, man, I just try and be practical about this stuff, man. Like, really talk, real talk, bro. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I like to employ my skill sets, if you will. You know what I'm saying? If you knew my day job, you'd be like, oh, shit, man, this dude you probably know a little something about business. Business, as we say where I'm from. All right, for y'all. Bye. Taurus, 9. Glad you could join, my guy. Alfred, what up, my guy? Appreciate y'all. What I'm thankful for this year, man, I know this ain't Thanksgiving, but I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful for the chat, man. Eric said, why did the Bears OC offensive line coach leave their tight ends fullbacks alone against Greg Garrett, even sometimes left him unblocked? I don't know, but I'll tell you this, man. To that point, one of the things I see that they need to coach up better is this. When they use tight ends to chip, right? Specifically tight ends, especially like Cole, right? They need to coach better. There's something I seen on film that I didn't address probably during the week or whatever. What they need to do better is there's a spacing problem, right? There's a spacing problem. So say Myles Garrett starts out with Cole Kmet. Cole is engaging at the snap of the ball, at the point of attack. Cole is there. Our tackles are giving up way too much ground. So when Myles finally beats Cole, right? He puts his little, hand judo on him, right? So, right? And he beats Cole Kmet. Our tackles have created and allowed and gave up way too much ground, right? They basically already standing in Justin's lap. at that point. If Cole is engaging at the point of attack and it's 3 yards ahead of him, don't create 3 yards of space behind him to give Myles Garrett 3 steps after he disengages from Cole Kmet to get that running start on you to put your move on you. Because at that point, all he has to do is do a bull rush, right? And we know how that goes most of the time with Braxton Jones, right? No, if you see Cole is engaging, right, you have to time it and meet the rusher at the second point of attack, right? The second point of attack. So when you see Cole is about to get, you know what I'm saying, get the pass rush move put on him and he's about to get beat. As soon as he's about to get beat, you need to be already there up in his face and not giving 3 yards or 3 steps for the defender to get his speed going and run you over and put you in the lap of the quarterback. So they need to work on that. They need to get timing better and spacing better in that situation. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they I don't think they intend to do it that way. I think they try or attempt to do it the way I describe it. They're just probably not repping it very well in individual drills and practices, but it's a problem. It is a real problem. There shouldn't be 3 yards of space of you beating Cole and then all of a sudden you get 3-4 whole running yards. Now I got a myriad of things I can do to Darnell and Braxton. One of them probably the most devastating being the bull rush and pushing and throwing somebody and running straight through their face. Like that's crazy to me. Crazy. Yeah. That Cleveland game pass rush tape was all over the place. I understood what they were trying to do. It just seemed like a Chinese fire drill back there. It just seemed like a fire drill back there. Like it was crazy. Like, it was no hand, leg, no hand, feet agreement. Guys were playing without leverage. It was all over the place, man. So, yeah, it was wild. So, yeah. So, real fast, man, let me pivot on. I know I'm answering questions, but I want to pivot on until today's game because I've been talking for a while. We're already an hour and a half into it. Listen, today's game, Arizona at Chicago, 4:25 kickoff Eastern Standard Time, 3:25 Central Standard Time. Here are the realistic expectations. I have no expectations for this offense. Absolutely none whatsoever. I have lost total, complete, and utter confidence in the offensive coordinator to be able to do anything. We have a running back problem, right? And by running back problem, I say this. We have good running backs, but because we don't have an identity, we don't know week to week which one we're going to use. What happened to Khalil Herbert? Khalil Herbert ended the season as the premier or the running back one on the team. Now, I know he suffered an injury. Has an injury set him back to the point where he can't get the number of carries that he needs to in order for us to play the style of football that Khalil's good at? What is Khalil good at? Khalil is good at the what I call the all-speed pitch run game. Khalil's good at outside zones. He's good at swing passes, the quick toss, not the quick toss, the deep toss, not the quick toss. I'm tired of seeing the quick toss play. I want to see the deep toss play, the wide toss play, right? Quick. Khalil's good at that stuff. Khalil would be a better candidate for the quick screen game. You know what I'm saying? The third down back, the change of pace back. Khalil actually was becoming better at the thing that we criticized him for at the end of last season, which was his pass protection. Khalil had become better at that prior to his injury. What are we doing in that running back room, right? And then we usually have one guy at the end of the game that averages over 4 yards per carry at the end of the game, but somehow the guy only gets 5 or 6 carries. It's always one guy. Then Justin Fields gets the second number of carries, and then the other guys kind of wash on the stat sheet. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Pick an identity. Either we're going to be Deontay Foreman running people over, running down their throats, pause, out of pistol or from under center in an I formation. You know how much I love 12-plus personnel, 13, 21, 22, and we're attacking teams with Deontay Foreman or with Roschon Johnson, and we're bringing Khalil in as the change-up guy, or we're going to run it the other way around. We're going to go heavy 11 personnel, zone read. We're going to have Khalil in there, and we're just going to be giving him a bunch of duos and inside zones and playing finesse ball. Like, but pick a, you know what I'm saying? Pick a struggle, Luke Getsy. That's what I'm saying. Because that's part of the challenges with our identity, right? You know what I'm saying? That's that's one of the tail signs that we're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It's week to week. We're counter punching week after week. Counter punching. No, we're playing the Cleveland Browns Sunday. Cleveland has the better defense, one of the better defenses in the league, one of the better defensive linemen in the league. I'm sending a message to my team, my offensive linemen, my wide receivers, my tight ends, my running back. I'm going to test your heart. I'm going to test your mettle. We're running at them. What are we doing, Luke? Stop being so soft. My God. So I have no expectations. None whatsoever, because it's just like that. Every week is a surprise. This is what I really can count on. Can count on to Luke to call some BS, and I'm counting on Justin to have to overcome and make a play and give us one or two splash plays. Hopefully those splash plays are for touchdowns or big gains, right? To put us in position for either a touchdown or field goal at the end of the game and win it and pull it out. That's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting for any kind of coherent, competent, systemic, sequence, well thought out, strategic play calling. That's that. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting the DJ to get his. I'm expecting Cole to get his. Then anybody outside of those two to get theirs. I'm not. I'm talking running backs included. I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. But I'm expecting it to be the Justin Fields and DJ Moore Cole Kmet show. Those guys get their numbers. It's out of sequence. It's crazy. It's all over the place. It's incoherent. You know what I'm saying? It's like me sometimes when I can't describe my thoughts. As to describe this guy. Like you can't find words. It's like reading a book written by a you know what I'm saying? It's like when you're going through English class and they the first time tell you like subject noun agreement and then how to write essays and make sure, you know what I'm saying, you have a topic, you stay on top. It's like reading a essay written by a 7 or 8 or 9 year old. Like, no. Now, on the flip side of that, I look forward to this defense. I look forward to seeing this defense. I look for us to continue our streak in turnovers, namely the interception, strip sack, Montez Sweat, Billings, you know what I'm saying? Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, my guy, man, Trent, Edmonds, Jack Sanborn. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Brisker. Let's go. Eddie actually got an interception last week. I'm looking forward to watching this defense. I'm looking forward to this defense versus Kyler Murray. And watch this. Drum roll. I'm looking forward to, drum roll, what answers Matt Eberflus has for Kyler Murray. I'm looking forward to the strategic matchup and part of the game. That's football. Outthinking the other coach, out scheming the other coach. Like we did versus Detroit, both games. Time we didn't get it done, the second time we did. I'm looking forward to that. So that part I'm gonna be excited for. Probably gonna be real calm, excited, able to enjoy the game, be a real fan. Don't worry about too much. We're on offense. I'm gonna need Prozac and Ritalin, probably edible. Can't drink beer, can't drink hard liquor. I need something. Because that dude, Black Diamond likes to call Peter Griffin trash. Straight trash. I need to have that dude on the show. Straight trash. I need to have a trash dude on the show. Julian Parker said, I'm watching Lions Vikings game right now. One thing that stands out, Chicago has the worst coaching in the division. Bro, you watch that's the funny part about it though, right? You watch other teams, watch other teams offensively. And you're like, in the context of football, especially offensively, when you watch other teams, you'll be like, hey, I can see what he's trying to do right here. If you watch a Green Bay game, y'all watch a Green Bay game right now, maybe. When Matt LaFleur, God forbid, I give him credit for doing anything, but when he calls plays for Jordan Love, understanding the offensive limitations of that football team, especially early on in the scene where he realized, hey, I got basically what amounts to is a rookie quarterback and a bunch of young wide receivers, basically a young team. I'm not putting this team in a situation where they have to do too much. So I'm gonna get Jordan to 3rd and 4 or less. That's his whole goal in calling plays, to get Jordan to 3rd and 4 and less, where Jordan doesn't have to make a superhero throw, make a good to great throw, and move the chains. How many situations? How many times are we in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 15? I got to make a superhero plays, but you don't have the pass concepts or pass routes to get people open for 3rd, 13, 3rd and 12. That's low percentage throws, man. So appreciate you pointing that out. My man Julius Parker, right? So I'm not looking for that. So with that being said, what are my expectations? My expectations, the offense didn't really give us anything last week, right? They gave us a field goal. If you remember, the touchdown came off of a interception by Eddie Jackson, which gave us the ball on a 1 or 2 yard line, 2 yard line. We needed 2 yard score. It took us 2 plays to get that touchdown. Granted, versus one of the better defenses in the league. Now, this is Arizona, but Arizona's coach is a defensive guy, according to Matt Eberflus, I believe. He's a defensive guy. So I'm expecting him to out scheme Luke Getsy. So I'm not expecting more than a touchdown from the offense. I'm expecting the defense to give us no more than a touchdown, field goal, touchdown from the offense. So push to 5 points. There's a very, very good chance the defense gives us either a turnover in short yardage field position or a touchdown all together, right? So give the offense and defense a touchdown a piece, whatever, 10, 13 points. We have to win a close game, right? 10 to 13 points. Let me push it out there. 14 points. Everybody's going to be down on Justin Fields because we only put up 14 points. They're not going to look at film. They're not going to do the film, sir. They're not going to look at it. We only put up 14 points. We punt, all that other. So Arizona defensive coordinator gets the best of Luke Getsy. Does Luke Getsy get the best of the Arizona offensive coordinator is the question. Low score. I could be totally wrong, and this might be an electric light 'em up game, passes 300 yards all over the field, but I'm gonna go with. I hate rooting against my Bears, so I'm always gonna root for the win. I'm gonna say 14, 17, 13 Bears. How about that? And that's wishful thinking. Where those 17 points coming from, I don't know. I'm just throwing some BS out there because the reality, do I think we can put 2 touchdowns on the board? Probably we can give us a touchdown. Defense gives us a touchdown, a short field. Probably 13 points is the reality, but I'm going to go with 17. 17, 14 Bears. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Y'all let me know what y'all feel in the chat, the prediction, the score of the game. I love to hear from y'all, man. Thanks for hanging out with us again. We've been on here for an hour and a half and some change. That's about the time I like to do it for, man. You know what I'm saying? Or before I wrap up the show. But let me know what y'all are. You know what I'm saying? Vidal said, yo, too hope. He said, you too hopeful, Coach T. I don't, let me put it up on the screen so I can read it. My bad eyes. Yo, you too hopeful, Coach T. I don't care any more of these. It's just last 3 weeks. We got to beat the Packers, bro. You got to be. Listen, I'm going to tell you. Oh, this is what I want to say about the Atlanta game. Bro, if we do not beat Atlanta has talent, a lot of talent on that team. Atlanta is running purely off talent. Purely off talent. This is a game where it's Atlanta's talent versus the little bit of coaching that we do have. Atlanta's offensive coordinator is ranked, head coach, offensive coordinator is ranked the last in the league. And he's twice as bad. He's the last. Our guys ranked fourth. Paul Hackett is fifth. I forgot the other teams that's at second and third. But Atlanta's offensive coordinator / head coach is twice as bad as the bottom five guys, four guys on that list. Twice as bad according to the stats. So if they beat us, they are beating us on talent alone. And they don't have talent at the quarterback position. So if we don't beat Atlanta, if we don't beat Atlanta, I don't know how I'm thinking about this team, man. But yeah. But anyway, Vito said, I don't care anymore. Just last 3 weeks, let Poles, Kevin make whatever decisions they need to make. Trust Ryan Poles. I appreciate that. I agree with that. Frogman said, is it too late to trade him now? Who are you talking about, Frogman? How do we create big plays when we rarely use play action? Boom. Come on, man. Coach, why don't we scheme for our skilled players like other teams? Because I don't have a picture of the guy. Because I'm tired of using his name. It's just that bad. It's just that bad. He said Atlanta's beating the Colts right now. Is that true? That's crazy. That's great. And watch this. It's talent, bro. They are a talented football team. That's why I said people need to be careful. They be careful talking about, oh, JF won to Atlanta. Listen, JF won to Atlanta and a good coach. Hell, they need a quarterback. They got a quarterback because that's one of the higher RPO teams in the league, according to what the chart. Let me see. Yeah. JF won the Caleb to Atlanta, bro. They cooking with Crisco. I'm telling you. Because Arthur wants to run RPO stuff. He just don't have a guy that can do it. So people be careful. Because while our guy is developing, looking for 26, 27, these guys could get Justin and be there. They can be there. I'm just saying. They don't want to hear it, but call it how it is. 2021 over Coach. Yeah. That's a crazy situation. Listen, man, that was Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. Thanks for hanging out. Get out of here. Go and hang out with the family. Got people in town, man, all that good stuff, man. So enjoy you, man. Enjoy your loved ones, man. Appreciate them. Prosperous new year to y'all. I don't know if I'm going to talk to y'all. See y'all here. Listen, make that list, man. Make that resolution list. I don't care what people say. Oh, you make lists every year, blah, 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 blah. Forget them people. You're entitled to make a list every year. If you 50% or 100% of your list, you know what I'm saying, doesn't come out for New Year's resolution, you don't turn out to do any of those things. At least you tried. The only difference between us and them is, look, we try. We keep going. Never give up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people going through a lot of things this time of year. You know what I'm saying? Reminisce holidays, you know what I'm saying? Loved ones that are no longer here and all that stuff. Listen, if you're going through something right now, man, stuff like that, listen, let you know our prayers are with you. Our support with you here at Chicago Bears 360. It's going to get better. That's the end of the day. Don't lose hope, especially us Bears fan who, you know what I'm saying, we seem like we've lost the season. It's going to get better. It all gets better with time. So hang in there. You know what I'm saying? Until then, it's always Bears up. And y'all know what's next. Bear down. Coach T, I'm out. Peace.